Okay, warte. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Samuel here. Today, GR IIIx. You might have seen the launch video on the GR Photography channel already, but this is my channel, so I have more time. And yeah, I don't really want to talk too much in detail about the camera because I said everything there is to say on the GR channel. Check it out. Today I just want to see how this camera performs in the real life, because we now have a 40mm focal length, full frame equivalent, and 40 is actually my second favorite focal length, so I'm personally very excited. I wished for this, I was hoping for this to come out. Yeah, it's raining, a typical day in Hamburg. This will basically be a big slideshow, sample, photo, montage.
Yo, what's up?
Bellows behind the camera too. We will also go to visit Maya, so we will just hang out and maybe do some street photography. Probably not because it's raining, but yeah, I'm just going to use the camera. That's it.
Okay guys, let's do this. First of all, please don't judge my photos too hard. The purpose of this video is to show you how this camera performs and what kind of look you can expect. So I included some photos that, you know, seem very random, but it is a snapshot camera, but I got a few photos that I really like and I want to talk about them in more detail later, so enjoy.
Was hast du mitgebracht? Hipster. Yeah. So are you guys still watching? This is a new day. Last week we didn't really go out to take any pictures. So yeah, it's 1 week later. Maya's here taking some analog shots on her, what is this camera? Rawleye Magic 2. And I, of course, still have my GR IIIx. And yeah, we are here in the Haber of Hamburg, which is probably the most interesting, beautiful place in Hamburg. Some tourists passing by. What's up, guys? Okay, yeah, enjoy the video and enjoy the rest of the slideshow, because I'm too lazy to shoot video and talk to you guys to make this a proper video. It's more about the photos, right?
So this video is not sponsored by Squarespace, thank God, but I am using Epidemic Sound for all my videos, so if you like the music, this is where I get my music, and they have been supporting my channel without asking for much, so I think it's just fair to just mention them briefly here. So if you enjoy the music, there's a link for a free trial, so go check them out, sign up and make me some money! Oh yeah, I should probably talk about these photos. So we have a new 26mm lens, which translates to 40mm focal length on full frame. And this is my second favorite focal length. And this specific lens on the GR IIIx is so sharp. It's really crazy, to be honest, because the GR III has already a very good lens, but I feel like this new one does everything a little better. It has more contrast, slightly more contrast. I feel like the photos look a little cleaner, clearer maybe. So let's talk a little bit about these photos. So I found this scene here and I was drawn to this mirror. And obviously I tried to look for some interesting subjects to pass by. Maybe someone looking at me through the window directly into the camera. And there was also this guy who was drinking and I really wanted to have him in the frame, maybe someone passing me by on the right side, and then someone in the mirror. But as always, it comes down to luck and patience. And yeah, I really wasn't that patient. But when I turned around, I saw this guy, and I'm pretty sure he was looking at me through that mirror. But he was, minding his own business, reading his newspaper. So I tried some different compositions here. And I liked how the left side of the frame was kind of abstract. We have all these colors. And then on the right side, it's more of a traditional candid scene. This is how I ended up editing the photo. And I'm not sure if I should have chosen this one instead, but I think they're both very close, and yeah. Another scene where I spent some time. Actually, I spent like 30 minutes here, and I'm pretty happy with what I got, but it's not what I really wanted. What I really wanted was these birds. I saw this scene first, and then these seagulls or pigeons were casting a shadow on this wall, and it looked very cool. And what I wanted was a pigeon shadow, like flying, someone on the stairs, maybe someone in the background, and if I can get someone in the foreground, even better. But here are some attempts, just people passing by, and yeah, very single focused, not many layers going on. And yeah, you just gotta wait and try your luck. This one is kind of nice. I like how they're looking into the camera, but the focus wasn't on them. Yeah, and then after a while, suddenly this little girl came into the frame. She was running upstairs. So I grabbed like 3 shots, and I ended up choosing the one where she's in the middle. It looks the cleanest. I'm pretty happy, but I still think I should come back and try some more. So after this little random montage, let's talk about some pictures again. So 40, what does 40mm mean for street photography? And I think because it sits so nicely between 35 and 50, and it gives you a little bit of compression, but it also gives you the environment. And it does look very natural. It feels like you are standing there. With 28, you have much more from the environment in the frame, and it is much harder to compose a nice and clean frame. Now, this is not shot on a GR here. This is actually shot on a Fuji camera using an 18mm lens, but it gives you the 28 field of view. And this is in comparison how the GR IIIx looks like at 40mm, and as you can see, it's more compressed. It's not that dynamic. But you still have foreground elements, and you can still create some engaging compositions. Here's another example of how 28 looks and feels like. Now this is a little unfair because this is full frame 28 1.7. You can probably guess what camera that was. And here's how the GR IIIx looks like, and ignore the background blur because it's unfair to compare full frame 1.7 against 2.8 on APS-C, but what I want to show is how much compression and how wide the field of view is. Of course, you can still use snap focus on the GR IIIx, and here's an example of using snap focus. Now, on a 40, it will be much harder to acquire the right focus distance, so your distance guessing game needs to be on point. For example, here I set the camera to 2.5 meters, but I should have set it to 5 meters because I was a little too close. Now, before you go down to the comment section and say, "Oh, it's not really a 40mm lens. It's a 26. It's not the same." No, it's not the same, of course, but it gives you the same field of view, and this is all I care. I don't care about, how much bokeh you have and stuff like that. Oh, this is actually a good topic to discuss here. Do you need more separation than you get on this camera? Now, this is 2.8. Here are some examples shot wide open. To me, these still look very three-dimensional. You get a little bit of a blurry background. And to me, this is enough. On the street, I actually don't even shoot like aperture priority. I always shoot shutter priority. So I don't care if the aperture closes or opens up, especially on APS-C. You can't get that much of a blurry background anyways, from a normal distance at least. So I never really cared about background separation, but on this camera, you definitely get a little bit more than on the 28. And for me, it still gives me a nice 3D pop. And I actually showed some of these photos to my friend Alex, and I asked him, what do you think this focal length is? And his guess was, oh, this looks like full frame 35mm. And his second guess was, wait, is this medium format? So I think the debate is not if it's enough or not enough. It depends on what your expectations are, because normal people who don't know what camera you're using are not going to care. And as you can see, even a photographer thinks or thought it was full frame or medium format. So to me, 2.8 is more than enough. And because this camera, I sound like a salesman again, but I really do love this aspect of the GR3, is the stabilization, the IBIS. Because you can shoot very low shutter speeds. That means you don't really need more than 2.8. Yeah, this one here is a little grainy because I shot it at 6400, but it still works. It's about the colors, it's about, it's not really always about the sharpness. And also slow shutter speeds, in a case like this, where I was driving and taking photos outside of the window. Slower shutter speeds can also add to an image. But anyways, this is not about slow shutter speeds. The point is that you still get some separation, but you won't be able to separate someone from like a 5-meter distance. You gotta get close to get some background blur, but I find at normal distances, it still does the job and it creates this nice 3-dimensional look because of the new 40mm lens.
Okay guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed these images. Yeah, this is what I personally want to see whenever there's a new camera or lens. I just want to see real life examples. So hopefully I could provide you with that. Also, I'm conveniently shooting this outro after I shot the outro for the Ricoh GR channel. Because why not? It's a beautiful background. And yeah, I think I'm going to use this more than my other GR because it's so much fun, and I think 40mm really suits my style. It's very similar in a way because you can still layer your images, and it's easier to find an interesting subject. I think it's easier to frame a subject because you don't need to go that close and you don't need to think too much about your foreground and background. I don't know, it just feels very calm. I like the images I created. And yeah, check it out. I don't know when this will come out. Ricoh will tell you. Check out their website maybe, or Instagram. Wait, this is what I said in the Ricoh GR channel video outro. I don't need to say it here. No, check out my stuff. Go to my Instagram and check out my photos and use my hashtag. I don't have a hashtag, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I see you next time. Stay compact. Oh, and also thanks Maya for filming. Anything I can add to this? I'm so bad at giving shout outs. Yeah, do you want guys, especially guys, not girls, guys, to follow you on Instagram, or you can find her here. And yeah, thank you also for being a good model to showcase this camera. Yeah, Okay, bye.